Miss Robusta Capp, come on in.
Hi, how are you again?
Oh, I'm so glad you're here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Miss Robusta Capp, tell us your story. Where did you start? Where did you grow up? And how did you become Miss Robusta Capp?
So the character itself came around in 2009. However, I've been doing drag on and off since 1996, and I'm still only 21.
What prompted you to become a drag queen?
Uh, Back in 2009, it was a combination, maybe a little bit of RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm not going to lie. But I had always wanted to explore this sort of outlandish side of myself that was there. I'm a trained opera singer, so I came from a very rigid, and very strict sort of musical upbringing, so to speak. And once I kind of broke free of that and kind of released that, the less fun aspects of it, I kind of got into drag a little bit more. And I had always been surrounded by it by other people that have done it. And they said, yeah, you should try. You'd be really pretty, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't really concerned about the beauty aspect, but I did like the performance aspect of it. And 2009, my theater company and I did a little show, and she was born then, and she's been doing it ever since.
Who were your early drag influences?
Mae West, Monique, a lot of Latin soap opera actresses, telenovela. I'm Puerto Rican, so I grew up with that. So big hair, big prints, lots of makeup, big red lips, obviously. And yeah, that was a lot of my influence. Monique was another one. There's another comedian named Samore who was another big influence. I tend to stick more toward older Hollywood and telenovelas and Black female comedians. That kind of were my just kind of this hodgepodge of folks that came together that formed this.
Tell us about that first show. What did you do in that show?
I told a lot of dick jokes. And I sang Tammy Wynette's song, Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad.
Great. You use your natural voice to sing.
I do. I am a live singing, high octane drag queen.
Now, you said you're an opera singer as well.
Yeah.
Have you has Robusta sung opera?
I think I'm going to say yes, only because I've sung operatic songs in some of our cabarets, kind of a little more, it was a little more jokey rather than, a little more serious, but not quite in kind of that Monet Exchange sort of level, but yeah, kind of jokey and a little more fun. But I have sung opera as Robusta Capp.
What have you been doing lately?
So December, we had a holiday show, and that went incredibly well. That was at Stonewall. And Stonewall invited us back to sort of a pre-Pride kickoff, May 27th and 31st. We're doing a tribute to B. Arthur called B. Arthur Damn It.
Why B. Arthur?
B. Arthur is quite possibly, at one point, she was probably the gay community's biggest champion at one point. I mean, I grew up with her through Golden Girls. I know friends of mine that love her in Maude, and she contributed so much to gay culture, not just with, a withering glance and a very baritonal voice, shall we say. But also she donated all this money to Ali Forney, and she, just everything that she gave and her constant support over the years behind the scenes of LGBTQ people, just like it's a long time coming, and I'm glad that we're the ones to do it.
All right, I believe we have a clip of one of your rehearsals. Let's watch that.
Sure.
demonstrated, super civil, liberated, right on.
Oh, that's great. Tell us about your fellow performers there.
So the one to my left is Jane Aquilina, and she is a comedian and she is a jazz singer here in the city in New York. And the one to my right is Alexis Braxton, and she is also a singer and actress here in the city.
How did you connect with them?
Both of them were part of the my theater company, and they joined us back. I think Alexis was with us in 2012, if I'm not mistaken, and she's been with us on and off ever since. And Jane Aquilina has been with us since 2013.
How thrilling it must be to perform at Stonewall. Tell me about that.
It's nowadays, especially with everything going on, performing at Stonewall, especially right before Pride, it's like it's very moving to me. It was very moving the first time that we performed there for a Christmas show, but now sort of kicking off Pride and then doing it with B. Arthur, it's almost twice as moving and incredibly exciting for me, especially since it's sort of the birthplace of the movement, really.
Mm-hmm. Had you been to Stonewall before, or how many times?
I'm friendly with a lot of the bartenders that are there. Yes, I've been there a couple of times. I've seen shows there. I used to go to their sing-along musical Wednesdays. So yeah, I'm very familiar with the folks there. I really love them.
Well, that's great. That's great. All right, you mentioned that with what's going on today. Have you been affected by any of the anti-gay, trans, drag rebellion out there?
Thankfully, no. I don't think that anything bad has happened at Stonewall thus far. There was something that happened at another bar in Hell's Kitchen on 9th Avenue called Verse, where someone either threw a rock or a brick or something at the window, one of the bars, and that are known for drag. So that's been happening. I'm alternately very nervous about it, but I'm still more defiant. Because I don't want to be silenced, and I don't want this art to go away because people are homophobic or transphobic. I think that drag is necessary, and I think it's not just the joy that it brings people. I think it sort of shines a light at the sort of darker places and makes it into something that we can all laugh at, which is what I really, really love about it. And that's come from years of doing drag at this point. But yeah, I think it's necessary, and I refuse to be silenced.
Tell us more about the show. What are you doing? Are you doing skits, more songs? Tell us about what the show's made up of.
It's a little more informative than skits in between songs or anything like that. We give a couple of factoids, and we sing. It's a lot of songs that she has already performed, and songs that she really liked performing. So if some of you have the B. Arthur on Broadway album, there's a couple of songs from that. There's a couple of lesser known songs that she was very fond of performing that are also in the show. And we're also doing a couple of favorites from her very famous television shows.
Tell us more about some of the songs, the lesser known ones.
Oh, some of the lesser known ones. Where do you start? She did do that one in her Broadway show. It's on the album, but it is a much lesser known song. The famous jazz singer Shirley Horn made a very beautiful, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the original recording of it. It's by Alan and Marilyn Bergman wrote it, and she sings an incredibly sort of an actorly version. She's sort of half talking. We're not half talking it, but she sort of half talks it. But it's like there's such depth there, and whenever she sang it, she brought this whole wealth of experience to it, and like just an incredible amount of profound emotion to it. And when you look at the lyrics, it's a relatively simple song about just, a relationship ending. And she imbues it with so much feeling and like genuine, like the song itself almost becomes like its own thing. So it's incredibly beautiful to listen to. And I kind of hope that we can replicate that when we sing it.
Are you doing an impersonation of her or just presenting the story?
Well, my girlfriend Jane has a very low voice. So she kind of is our resident B. Arthur.
My philosophy is you use what you got.
Amen to that.
What are your plans after the show? I mean, not after the night after the show, but in the future.
Well, first I'm going to take a very long vacation.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I think I said this last time I was on, but I think I'm planning my own solo show. I've been doing a lot of collaborative shows for a very long time, and I think it's time for Robusta to really go out and spread her own wings completely.
For you. And your accompanist, who is that playing the piano?
Her name is Witti Repartee, and she is at Sid Gold's on 26th Street. She's wonderful.
That helps to have a great accompanist. We do.
She really is. She's the best.
Sure. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, Robusta. So happy to see you again, and can't wait to hear more about your show. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Take care.